Good morning. It is wonderful to see you all this morning. Last Sunday, I was driving to Pennsylvania to take my daughter back to school after Thanksgiving. We drove up into the mountains of Virginia through very icy fog, and we were rolling through those mountains on our way north, and my phone started to go off. And we pulled over, and I looked at my phone, and it was all these folks from the UU. This strikes fear in the heart of a pastor, but all the messages were wonderful. The first one said, the entire congregation stayed for the talkback session. And wonderful message after wonderful message about your welcome of our guests last week and the richness of the conversation that you shared with her and the power of all of the work that we're doing out in the community and organizing that. So many positive things. So I want to tell you, return from the ice and fog of distant mountains, how grateful I am for the way that you hold together contradictions into paradox, the way we don't try to resolve our theological and philosophical differences, but we bring those together to create a thriving community, and the way we take all of that energy and move it out beyond ourselves into the world. Because it is a world of ice and fog, and the light and warmth of this place dispels it. Thank you all so much. Please give yourselves a winter holiday round of applause. Many years ago, there was a little girl born into our dark and cold world. Her name was Louise Owens. She was born in a mill village in Joanna, South Carolina. Small place, first of 6 kids. When her mother was 30, her mother died. And when her father was 32, he died. And so Louise was left an orphan and the oldest child of 6 children. And she spent her childhood as a surrogate parent for her siblings. During the Depression, they lived on their grandparents' farm. She was a hard worker her whole life. She married a man named Hatchell, and they had a son, Mike. And when Louise was in her adulthood and Mike was in his adulthood, they were celebrating Christmas with family, Mike's kids and his wife Penny's kids. Family gathered around. Mike and Penny, Louise's son and daughter-in-law, gave one of those kids a teddy bear. And Louise said, just by the by, I never had a teddy bear when I was a kid. That's not what she was able to have in her childhood. And Mike and Penny heard this. So every Christmas thereafter, they would get Louise a teddy bear. And also on other occasions, birthdays and Valentine's Day and other celebrations, they would give Louise a teddy bear. She lived to be 96. And when she died, there were dozens and dozens and dozens of teddy bears, more than 50 in her collection. Little girl with no teddy bear who died surrounded by all that love and warmth. And Mike and Penny looked at these bears and said, we have no idea what to do with these. And they have been such an act of love, they don't need to just stop. So they came to the church and they said, what could we do with all of these bears? Our previous director of religious education, Sybil Argentar, called agencies around town. And she learned that when a child has to leave their home because of instances of abuse or neglect. The officers working with that child and the agencies that are trying to support that child will give that child a bear or another stuffed animal so that as they go into the world of ice and fog, they have warmth to hold and a sign, however small, that there is somebody who cares about them and who's trying to support them. And so that first year after Louise's death, we held our first Teddy Bear Sunday. And far more than 50 bears entered into this congregation and gathered here in warmth and love, and then moved out into the world. And so we celebrate every year. There'll be a time in the service for us to bring our bears. Not yet. That time will come. And if you find that you don't have one, just look around. You'll see that bears have come into the sanctuary ahead of you and are seated all around you. Make sure you don't grab your neighbor's bear. But if there is a bear that is looking for a companion to make its way up front, you be that friend. You be that companion. Be that guide who brings light and warmth into this world. Thank you all for all you give.
Good morning. Please turn to hymn number 235 in the regular hymnal and join in singing Deck the Hall with Boughs of Holly.
Good morning. My name is Mary Underwood, and I serve on the Board of Trustees of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Spartanburg. Welcome to this sacred space. We are glad you are here. At UUCS, we strive to be a beloved community of warmth, love, and support across all our differences. This is a welcoming congregation where everyone is welcome just as we are. If you are visiting us this morning, we would love to meet you. Visitor cards may be found in the pocket on the back of the chair in front of you. Please feel welcome to fill one out and place it in the offering plate during the service so we can connect with you. There is always a lot going on in the life of this congregation, and that only increases with our winter celebrations. You've got to read about this stuff to keep up. So find the Connect in the lobby, look through the one-page weekly calendar in your order of service, and memorize your weekly happenings. Our giving tree is at the back of the sanctuary. Please take a tag and bring your gift back by next Sunday, December 14th. Gifts are for unhoused children of the Away Home program and children in the Southside neighborhood. Share the love this season. Our auction, we surpassed our auction goal by $18. Yeah. As of this morning, we have raised $16,018 at this year's auction. Well done, everyone. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you to everyone who came yesterday to help clean the church for the holidays. Literally, hundreds of people came in and out of our sacred buildings and grounds every day, each day of the week, and we need all the help we can get to keep up. Thank you to all who came to clean yesterday. If you want to get in on the action, man, do we need you. A sign-up genius is in the happenings. See Ann Scott or the divine Naomi Richardson for details. Busy bags. We love them. The kids love them. If these beloved busy bags in all of the chaos of a Sunday morning ended up in your car, at your home, or in your Mary Poppins bag, please help them make their way back here so they can be enjoyed by Sunday on our smallest and mightiest congregates. Thank you. Humanist meeting is this Wednesday, December 10th at 7 o'clock. Where they'll enjoy food, drinks, and conversation, crackers and brie, tequila cake, never had that, and more. We'll explore future program ideas. Is there a topic you would like to share with the Humanist group as a presenter or as part of a panel? Would you like to hear more about the short list of the 2025 American Humanist Association Humanist of the Year Awards? And the winner, Dr. Jelani Cobb? Or about Megan Hunt, first openly humanist and atheist member of the Nebraska State Legislature, recipient of the 2025 Religious Liberty Award? Or do you want to learn more about the trailblazers of humanism? Please come and bring your ideas. Vision Board Workshop is going to be led by Cameron Popkin in the UUCS Fellowship Hall this Saturday, December 13th, from 10 to 11 a.m. There is no doubt that 2026 is going to be exciting, and there's certainly going to be a proper length of the unexpected. That said, there are some things in our upcoming year that can be encouraged. Join us for a workshop on vision board making that might sound like an arts and craft class, but is nothing at all like that. Let's build one together. All supplies will be provided, but if you have any specific goals that have specialty publications, please bring them along with you. You'd be surprised at the serendipity of just leafing through your favorite magazine. Winter celebrations are here. December 14th is our second annual Cookie Communion. That's right, cookies, coffee, hot chocolate, unconditional love, you, and you in the morning service. December 21st, we celebrate the winter solstice at 6:30 p.m. in the sanctuary. That same day, we welcome our unhoused children and their families through a Way Home program. Please sign up to help for our 2 weeks of hosting these families over solstice, Christmas, and the New Year. We really need your help. Then on December 24th, we will revel in our 6:30 Christmas Eve candlelight service. All services are for every one of us, all ages and beliefs. And on Christmas Day, our Christmas brunch. Come and enjoy the beauty of this season together. Thank you all for all that you do to make this a place of love, warm, and welcome for all.
My name's Kara Dowling, and I'm going to read our chalice lighting. Give us the spirit of the child. Give us the child who lives within, the child who trusts, the child who imagines, the child who sings, the child who receives without reservation, the child who gives without judgment. Give us a child's eyes, that we may receive the beauty and the freshness of this day like a sunrise. Give us a child's ears, that we may hear the music of mythical times. Give us a child's heart, that we may be filled with wonder and delight. Give us a child's faith, that we may be cured of our cynicism. Give us the spirit of the child, who is not afraid to need, who is not afraid to love.
If you will, stand as you're willing and able, and turn to page 238 in our gray hymnal, Within the Shining of a Star. Within the shining of a star, we catch a glimpse of who we are. In every infant born we see the hope of our nativity, the miracle of each new birth can shake and save the stony earth. Triumphantly, the newborn's cry strikes echoes from the waiting sky.
If there are any children who would like to join me up front, go ahead and bring a teddy bear or a stuffed animal. Maybe you brought one with you, or maybe there's one somewhere around that needs a friend you can bring forward. You want to come over, Lily? Okay. Yay. Hi, y'all. How are you? Fine. What all we got up here? Ooh, I think my favorite is the walrus. That is pretty cool, a Christmas walrus. Do you guys have any stuffies or loveys or teddy bears? Yeah? 57? Is there one particular one that means the most to you?
Yes, I have one. I like the unicorn.
You have a unicorn?
I love my stuffy that's
Named Wally? Oh, that's a good name. Do you have a stuffy that you love? Your what? Your Charmander? Charmander's pretty cool. What's your favorite out of all 57? You don't know? You love them all. Well, this guy is Mr. Bunny. Mr. Bunny has been with me since I was about 4 years old. And Mr. Bunny was sent to me by my grandparents. And I lived far away from my grandparents. But they sent it, and they actually sent it at Easter, hence a bunny, to say, hey, even though we're not together, I want you to remember that we love you, right? Now, Mr. Bunny and I have seen some things together. Mr. Bunny went with me to my first overnight sleepaway camp. And Mr. Bunny got thrown up on at that overnight sleepaway camp by me. So Mr. Bunny went through the washing machine there and came out nice and clean. I ended up having a really good time at that camp. But, you know, I had Mr. Bunny with me. Mr. Bunny also flew on an airplane when I was 16 years old. I flew by myself to go visit my aunt in Germany.
With your buddy?
Well, I took my bunny with me because I was a little scared to fly by myself. I'd never done that before. Another time, I went off to college and I left my family and I didn't really know anyone else. But you know who was with me?
Mr. Bunny.
Mr. Bunny. That's right. And then I went off to seminary, and I didn't really know too many people there. But guess who was with me?
Mr. Bunny.
Mr. Bunny.
You always need it.
I always need Mr. Bunny. And you know why?
Because it's from your grandparents.
One, yes, it was from my grandparents.
Because like far away.
And they were far away. And whenever I did something where I had to go off by myself,
You have Mr. Bunny.
I had Mr. Bunny. That's right. And that is what all of these animals are going to do. They're going to help children that have to go off by themselves, maybe with a police officer or a social worker where they're in an unsafe situation. And they are going to get a bunny or a unicorn or a penguin or a dragon or a walrus or a polar bear. And hopefully that will help them feel a little more loved and a little more safe, right? Yeah. You always need your Wally for everything? Well, you know what?
Then for school.
I am 43 years old and I still have my Mr. Bunny. Even when I am a mom and I have my own kids. Isn't that crazy? We never grow too old for our stuffies and our lovies, right? Yeah. I have something else I want to show you. Let me see if I can reach it. Okay. What do you think this is? It is a heart, and it is a rock. It's a stone. Have you ever found a rock that was shaped like a heart before?
Yes.
You have?
And it was on the mountain.
It was a smooth rock. This one came all the way from Lake Superior. I found it in October when I was visiting a friend. Yeah? Awesome.
And just someone or something. Like the water was too
Oh,
cold.
it's never too cold for me.
What?
The lake water. Okay. So look here. I want you to see something. Do you see something? When I go on walks,
You found so many hard rocks.
I always look for heart rocks. And I was thinking that today you could choose a heart rock to put in our rippling bowl to remind you of all the love and light that is inside of you that you can share with others. That one's a little big. We're going to leave that one there.
Oh, look at me. I think I want this one. I want this one. It's so smooth. I like.
Okay, so I want you to choose a heart rock and remember that you can find love in the world, even when you're alone too, right? All you gotta do is look for it.
I choose this one.
You choose that one? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna find a spot for your furry friend up here. that we're going to share with other kids. And then you're going to pick a stone that you can put in the rippling bowl. And remember that the rippling bowl is a place that we can put our stones, our not so good things, and our great things, and we share those. And when we share those with others, the not so good things become a little easier, and the great things get spread and become even more joyful, right? Yeah. So pick out a rock.
I just picked out mine.
You picked out yours? Okay, did you pick out one? All right, I'm gonna put these. Oh, well, I'm sure you have a new one now, right?
What are you doing?
Okay, put your critter up here. We'll put this big one. We'll put this up here. I'm gonna take Mr. Bunny back. I'm not gonna put him under there. All right, and then you're gonna come over here. And remember that the ripples remind us of all the love that we can share and that others are helping us with the hard stuff too, right? Okay. Oh, you lost your rock. There you go. You want to pick a new one? All right. That's a good one. All right. All right, friends. Thank you for coming up. And now I invite the rest of the congregation to bring up their loveys and stuffies and critters of all kinds and find a spot around the poinsettias. And then you can come over here to the rippling bowl and share your joys and your concerns.
There's a bunch of them, and the stuffed animals up here. Now it's time to do our covenant. And the covenant was written by members of this church. We live by it every day. For those people watching virtually, it can be found on our screen, and those here at the church, it can be found in your bulletin. Will you say it with me now? With courage we say, we are the people of faith and hope. Together we covenant to strive to be our better selves, to honor both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity is not be divisiveness. We move on to systems, violence, and oppression with the power of love beyond belief. And greeting one another is a time set aside for us to greet each other, and we honor each other's space. When the music starts, we ask that you return to your seats so we can continue to the service and let the holy chaos begin. Now it is time that we set aside to share our treasures and financial gifts with this beloved community. We also share the plate each month with an organization here in the world, here or in the world. We share half the designated gifts this month with the World Central Kitchen to feed the starving children in Gaza. And may the ushers please come forward.
So beautiful. Thank you all. Share silence with me. wandering over the earth. One of the most beautiful parts of this service each year is when the service is over. I didn't mean for that to be a joke. And I'm glad you are in a mirthful spirit. Because the bears go out. They go out with purpose. And so do we. We go out following their lead with purpose. It's very beautiful. And at the end of each service, as the bears and we travel out into the world, have been moved year after year to be met at the door by many people in this congregation who share stories very like the stories of the children who will receive these bears. Many people in our congregation who in their own childhood or at other times in their life found themselves going out into the darkness, into the night, and often not by their own choice, but out of need. And remembering the one or two people or the small group of folks that accompanied them and cared for them and welcomed them as they sought a place to call home on the face of this earth. Many people in this congregation who have their own bears that have traveled with them for many years now. Thank God for that. And now that we have done this for several years, there are even some stories where folks who are part of this congregation wonder if the bear they were given first came from this sanctuary. One of those stories is depicted on the front of your bulletin. 2 little girls with bears. I want to invite Merica Tam to share her story of wandering over the face of this earth and the accompaniment that she and her sister received. Merica.
Let's see that this works. Good morning, everyone. So did anyone recognize me in that photo before you read the caption? So keep that photo in front of you, because I'm going to tell you the true story of the lives of those bears. And the story starts with World War II. At the end of World War II, there were 1 million refugees in Europe. In the refugee camp where I was born, there were 4,000 Estonians. 1,000 of them were children. And that refugee camp was in Geislingen, Germany. It's a little town in the area of Bavaria. So why did tens of thousands of Estonians leave their home country in 1944? The short answer is that Stalin was bombing civilian areas of Estonia, just as Putin is bombing civilian areas of Ukraine today. If you're a World War II buff, I would love to talk to you after the service to trace with you the month-by-month history of Estonia during World War II. So, all these refugees are in Germany, but they need to find new homes. So Australia and Canada have always been welcoming of refugees. So they were eager. They were first in line to accept refugees. And when my father's sister, who was at that camp, she was at the camp with her husband, and I think they had 3 sons. When she heard the opportunity to go to Australia, my aunt, my father's sister, went with her family to Australia. So when my aunt was in Australia, and we were still in Germany refugee camp, my aunt sent a teddy bear to me and a teddy bear for my sister. So that photo that's on the cover was taken in 1950. I am 4, my sister is 2, so those are the teddy bears that were sent to us from Australia. The USA has always had an ambivalent relationship with their refugees and immigrants. What helped at this time was that President Truman decided that we should help with this refugee problem. And President Truman promoted the Displaced Persons Act. And because that passed, these camps were actually called Displaced Persons Camps, or for short, DP camps. So one of the early words from that early childhood for me was DP. I didn't know what DP meant, but I knew we were DPs. So when we left Germany in 1951, my parents had been in that DP camp for 7 years. We had a 10-day voyage. It was on an American military transport ship. And the teddy bears had an adventure during that trip. So, my sister and I, we carried our bears with us. But one time when we went to the dining hall, we accidentally left our bears in the dining hall. So later in the day, when our family remembered that, our family went back to the dining hall hoping to find the bears. And they did. Those bears had been put on a large soup kettle on the cover of the kettle facing each other. So that's where we saw them. And my father wrote about that as one of the experiences in his memoir in his old age. He wrote about that refugee experience, and he described that discovery. And he used the word joy. This is all in Estonian, of course, but I have that memoir, and he used the word joy. That's what our family felt was joy at recovering these bears. So these bears continued, as we've heard from others, these bears can continue to be important for a very long time. So we grew up in New Jersey, so during those years, of course, the bears lived with us in our family home, and they remained in our parents' house for a while. But as we started moving around as adults, and we both lived in many places, we each took our bear with us. And so my sister ended up in Collingwood, Ontario, which is a little town a couple of hours north of Toronto. And of course, I ended up here in Spartanburg. 3 or 4 years ago, the Estonian Diaspora Museum in Toronto was asking people to send artifacts from that refugee period, from that refugee experience. And they were begging for these because the people, those refugees who had originally come as refugees, they were dying off, and so they were begging for any artifacts that were available that they could make as part of the museum. So I said, this was 3 or 4 years ago, I heard about this, so I started thinking, maybe that's where my teddy bears should go. So I asked my sister, I said, oh, would you like your teddy bear to be donated? I said, I'm thinking about it, donating this bear. Would you like to donate your bear too? And she said, no, I don't want to give away my bear. that I'm not ready to part with my bear. So I said, that was 3 or 4 years ago. So last year, I asked her again. I said, are you ready to donate your bear? And she said, yes. So last summer, my sister came to visit me here with her bear. It was very emotional for us. We had seen each other, of course, over the years, but these bears hadn't been together for decades. And having them together really felt very special, very wonderful. And then last fall, 2024, I shipped these 2 bears off to the museum in Toronto. And of course, I included the detailed story of their history, you know, again, quoting my father's memoir about the experiences that we had as refugees. So these bears had traveled from Australia to Germany to USA to Canada. And now they've found the city of their final destination. And their story will remain alive there as part of the museum. These teddy bears had fulfilled the purpose of their existence. My sister and I are now in our 70s, and we have had very fulfilling lives. We have children and grandchildren. We have loved, and we have been loved. Teddy bears are all about love. Every child with a teddy bear loves that teddy bear. They learn what it means to love. Every child with a teddy bear feels loved because there was someone that cared about them, that loved them enough to give them that teddy bear. So that's why we're here today. We're here to send off these teddy bears into the world so they can fulfill the purpose of their existence. And that purpose is to add love to our world.
Have you ever heard a bear talk? Yes? These bears, they offer comfort, warmth, and love. And they also offer challenge. We send these bears to offer comfort and love. But these bears also speak to us. If you listen, you can hear their voices. And what they say is, you must also offer comfort and love. And we must create a world where children do not have to go out alone in the night, and where people cannot hide behind bears as surrogates, where we step forward as human beings with comfort and with love. Our toys, our images, our stories, our songs of this season, they're beautiful and they comfort us. And they also challenge us to make this a world like the myths and the dreams which we speak and which we sing. Now, in your silver hymnal, we are going to sing a carol. For some of us, this will be a carol of comfort. For some of us, it will be a carol of challenge. But that is what we are here to do together, to offer one another comfort and to offer one another challenge. You may believe every word of this carol, or you may believe no words of it at all, but it is a carol that we share this season. Absolutely beautiful. And what it says to us is the story of this season, the stories of this season are stories of children and families wandering over the face of the earth, bombed and dispersed by empire after empire. And yet the smallest things offer a witness stronger than the power of any military or economic force. And they call to us. The stories and the songs and the bears call to us. They tell us we are not only citizens of nations and empires, of laws and administrations and bombs. We are part of a beloved community, so small and powerful, meant to accompany every child that wanders the face of this earth. Let us sing this carol together.
If you will, turn to page 241 in your hymnals, In the Bleak Midwinter. In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan, earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long ago, Christ a homeless stranger, so the Gospels say, cradled in a manger and a bed of hay. In the bleak midwinter, stable place sufficed. Mary and her baby, Jesus Christ. Once more child and mother weave their magic spell, touching hearts with wonder, words can never tell. In the bleak midwinter, in this world of pain, where our hearts are open, love is born again.
For the extinguishing of the chalice, give us the spirit of the child. Give us the child who lives within, the child who trusts, the child who imagines, the child who sings, the child who receives without reservation, the child who gives without judgment. Give us a child's eyes, that we may receive the beauty of the freshness of this day like a sunrise. Give us a child's ears, that we may hear the music of mythical times. Child's heart, that we may be filled with wonder and delight. Give us a child's faith, that we may be cured of our cynicism. Give us the spirit of the child, who is not afraid to need, who is not afraid to love.
There are bombs and policies meant to intimidate us into not caring. But be full of the spirit of the child, every holy child this season. Have the courage, take on the challenge to love. Now, you heard at the beginning of the service about 27 announcements from Mary. And throughout the service, I've had multiple people, more than 27, come up to me and remind me of a bunch of other announcements that also need to be made. Here they come. After the service, there is a coffee hour. Thank Terry Rockwell and anyone else who helps her for putting this on for us. If you want to help perpetuate, please talk with her or with Ann or with me about continuing this. But go and enjoy something warm to drink and maybe even eat and give thanks to the people who are putting this on. And stay and help with the dishwasher if you like. The tree at the back of the sanctuary has tags. These are gifts for children who are homeless or who live in this neighborhood. And the gifts need to come back next Sunday, so today is the day. Please take a tag, or 27. And after the coffee hour, there is a training. If you would like to help us welcome children to this church over Christmas and New Year's, from December 21st, solstice night, until January, whatever, 27th, whatever it is. This is one opportunity to learn about how to help and to go through the child protection training that is required. We'll handle that later, but to learn how to help. So please feel welcome to stay. And if you can't stay, but you still want to help, we will help you do that as well. Thank you for all that you do. We are going to bless these bears as they go out. So I'd like to invite us to make a big circle around the sanctuary, and those at the front, please hold hands with the bears. Don't take the bears away, but you can hold their hands for the blessing. Make a circle around the sanctuary. Oh, I would call this a Christmas miracle. You can name the miracle as your myth and story allow. A blessing for the bears. May these bears travel out with comfort. And may we accept their challenge to bring that comfort to. May it be so.